Hello, Susanna here. I'm in Rio at the Olympics, just finished watching the diving 10-meter platform. I'm coming out, so you might see some folks waving because they're very, very friendly in Brazil. All right, no matter what level of purchase point you're going to have, whether you're spending, well, I have a friend who once bought a house in Wales for 18,000 quid. I mean, that's more or less a credit card. Or whether you're spending £1 million in London, you know, I'm typically spending between, well, I used to be spending 120,000 and now more spending 300,000 in Bristol, typically. But I'm currently doing one that I spent 500,000 on. The principles are just the same. So this applies to you whether you're doing a 40 grand property or a 400 grand property. Classic principles. Just keep the principles and the rules right for yourself. You want to be buying it discounted, meaning that once you've done it up, the purchase price plus the refurb is worth a lot. The purchase price plus the refurb is equal to a sum that is a lot less than what the actual value is done up, so that you've got some good kind of juice, if you like, in there. And the reason for that is nobody's going to start with infinite amount of money, and so what you're going to probably do, certainly the path I took, was you buy it very cheap, you renovate it, you bring your mortgage company or a new mortgage company back and say, look, we've done all this work, we bought it cheap in the first place, here's all the evidence for doing the refurb. Can I now please refinance at, like, say 70 or 75% loan to value? And then you pull your money out, either all of it, and I've done that many, many times, or most of it, and then can I go on to the next property using the same amount of money? There's two good reasons for that. One is you can go again, and the second is the return on capital employed that you've got left in becomes infinite because you've got no money left in. It's amazing. So it's not a free house because clearly you've borrowed, you know, and you still have that mortgage, but your rent is higher. So number one is please buy discounted, and please make sure please make sure the purchase price plus the refurb is a lot cheaper than what the end value is once it's done up. Second principle, rent. So you might not be renting it out, but I want you still to have this, and I know it's tough in London, so you're going to have to really shake that calendar until you get there. I want your rent to be hitting a 10% gross yield. So yield is annual rent divided by purchase price. Now different people do it in different ways. I just keep it the simplest thing. I do annual rent divided by purchase price. You could be more fancy, annual rent minus bills divided by purchase price plus costs to get there. You know, you could do it a whole bunch of different ways, but basically decide how you're going to do yield. For me, annual rent divided by purchase price. And I want that yield to be 10% and above. So that makes you think, you know, up north you'd be like sat there going, Suze, don't even bother talking to us about this, mate. It's fine. And down south, you'd be like, so how'd you get there? Can you divide the house into flats? Can you put it into a shared house? Can you HMO it? Can you do serviced apartments? Can you rent it out long-term lease to organisations that house vulnerable people and therefore pay very high rents because, of course, there's a very high level of or a much higher level of risk? You know, shake out that equation and try and figure it out. Or can you buy it cheaper? And then third one is, if you're going to do it as a buy to sell, I want you to have a 20% markup. So if you're buying it for 100, if everything, all the costs and everything are up to 100, you need to be selling it for 120. So say you bought it at 85, say the refurb was 10 and all the buying and selling costs were 5, there's your 100, and you need to be selling it for 120. So no matter whether it's a 18 grand house in Wales, like my friend did, or a 400,000 house in Bristol, or a £1 million house plus in London, principles are the same, aren't they? Make your money when you buy and have a plan A, which is the rental at 10% yield, and a plan B, which is 20% buy to sell markup. Now that's going to narrow down your focus, yeah? Okay, so just work harder. You know, we've done, I think it's 517 deals. 270, oh, blimey, steroids. 217 deals we've done, and I tell you, Ash probably makes like 130 phone calls a week, and typically we'll be out on 20 to 30, maybe even 35 viewings a week, just depending. So he's working it. I hope that's useful. See you soon. Bye.